Nuclear-capable U.S. submarine makes the first port call in South Korea in 4 decades. The nuclear-armed USS Kentucky, seen here departing Alaska in 2017, has made the port call in South Korea. South South Korea CNN. For the first time in decades, a nuclear-capable U.S. Navy ballistic missile submarine has made a port call in South Korea, in a move that comes just days after North Korea test fired what is said was a solid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missile. The presence of the Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine in the South Korean port city of Busan was announced by the country's defense ministry on Tuesday afternoon. It came as Scott Campbell, coordinator for the Indo-Pacific at the U.S. National Security Council, was at the inaugural meeting in Seoul of the Nuclear Consultative Group called the NCG. The NCG is the joint US and South Korean panel set up by the country's leaders at the summit in Washington in April. The arrival of the submarine follows the period of heightened tension on the peninsula, during which North Korea has both tested what is said was an advanced long-range missile and threatened to shoot down U.S. military reconnaissance aircraft engaging in what it called hostile espionage activities near its territory. Kim Yoonjung, sister of the North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and a senior officer in her own right, said in a statement Monday the deployment of the U.S. ballistic missile submarine to the peninsula would damage already fractured the lines of the communication between the two sides. The reality before the DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is not dialogue repeatedly touted by the US, said Kim. Instead, she said the NCG was openly discussing the use of nukes against the DPRK and the entry of the US strategic nuclear submarine into waters of the Korean Peninsula for the first time in 40 odd years. The US should know that it bolstered the extended deterrence system and excessively extended military alliance system. A threatening entity will only make the DPRK go further away from the negotiating table desired by it. The statement added, "Sub can carry up 80 warheads, non colloquially as bombers. Which of the Ohio class sub can carry a maximum of 20 Trident 2 ballistic missiles. The Nuclear Threat Initiative at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies estimates that each Trident missile can carry 4 nuclear warheads, meaning each U.S. ballistic missile submarine could be carrying about 80 nuclear warheads. The fourth call came out of the agreement between U.S. President Joe Biden and the South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol when they met in the U.S. Capitol in April. The Washington Declaration included a set of measures aimed at making Pyongyang think twice about launching an attack on its southern neighbor. Our mutual defense treaty is ironclad, and that includes our commitment to extend the deterrence, and that includes the nuclear threat and the nuclear deterrent, Biden said at the time. The establishment of the NCG came out of that Biden-Yoon meeting. In the joint statement on Tuesday, the two allies said the NCG would enhance combined deterrence and response posture. As a result, the collective strength of our two nations will directly contribute to the continued peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula and across the Indo-Pacific region, the statement read. This inaugural NCG meeting afforded the United States an opportunity to reaffirm and strengthen the U.S. commitment to provide extended deterrence to the ROK, backed by the full range of U.S. capabilities, including nuclear, it added. Literal military value. Analysts said after the Washington declaration that the presence of the U.S. Navy ballistic missile submarine in the South Korea port would be purely symbolic and, in fact, would reduce the military value of the sub. Tactically, US and South Korea are diminishing the sub, the most powerful asset. It just stealthiness. Carl Schuster, former director of operations at the U.S. Pacific Command's Joint Intelligence Center in Hawaii, said in April. The Trident missiles have the range of 4,600 miles, 7,400 kilometers, meaning they are capable of hitting a target in North Korea from vast swaths of the Pacific, Indian, or Arctic Oceans. Militarily, these submarines don't need to be anywhere near Korea in order to reach potential targets there. Blake Herzinger, a research fellow at the United States Studies Center, said in April. One of the keys to nuclear deterrence is uncertainty. A U.S. ballistic missile sub lurking hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface, thousands of miles from North Korea, would still be within striking range of Pyongyang, but would be near impossible for North Korea to spot. One arriving in South Korea on a port visit, which must be arranged 24 to 48 hours in advance, would be far more visible, giving North Korea an advantage, Schuster said. If Kim Jong un was looking to do a surprise strike, we've given him the submarine's location and the time it will be there, Schuster said.